is in there.
Yeah, I see those two.
And I shared this out on my CityGirl page and my personal Facebook.
Hi, guys. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Welcome, Darren, down under Farm and Forge. Welcome, Jake, with Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Hi, guys. Thank you for coming in. Yes, I was just over at LG's. I try to listen to at least part of LG's. Sometimes I'll still be preparing stuff or finishing up dinner. Hello, Albany Plane Spotter Aviation. How are you? Welcome in. Yeah, tonight we're going to do an interview with Terrie from CityGirl Countryheart. We're going to wait till we get a few more people in before we start asking questions. Hello, Dragons Picks. How are you?
Hello.
Next
I'm going to be
week,
seeing names I don't even know. So this is...
Yeah. I probably got a pretty good, a little bit different crowd maybe than you. Hello, Outdoors with Big Matt. Yeah, everybody assumes we all have the same people, but we really don't.
Oh no, it varies.
We got different crowds. So I added a couple of you guys as moderators, so you guys are welcome to put up links for Terrie's channel or for your own channels as well. So I added a couple of new ones in there because my normal moderators aren't in here, and because I was getting my tire fixed, I didn't ask anyone to specifically come in. Sometimes I'll ask Nisi with Free Handling May because she's my sister-in-law, and sometimes I ask the Rusty Pepper just because she just likes coming in and talking to everybody. So
I love her. She's so awesome.
Yeah, I call her my adopted grandma because she's just so sweet.
Yeah,
she's such a sweetie.
One day I will get to meet her in person, and that is a guarantee.
Yeah. So I looked at your about page, and it says you're in South Carolina, right?
Yes. We moved down here from New Jersey in 2016.
New Jersey to South Carolina. That's got to be a big old difference.
Well, years ago, back in 2004, my husband, my daughter, and I lived down here in about a half hour from here in a little town called Belton. And the only reason we sold, we had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on 3 acres, 1,000,000% chicks, was because my dad was having health issues. And so we sold everything, went up there, we were going to try and get a place of our own, and ended up living with my dad until he passed away. And then it took a few more years to get money saved up to come back down.
Hello, Adventures on the Homestead. How are you? Thank you for becoming friends with my coupon channel. I appreciate it. Alrighty. I think we'll start the official question asking phase here.
Hey, Bushcraft.
And hi Charles, Bushcraft family. How are you? So before I start, if anyone is interested in coming on the Get to Know Them with Gail section, please send me an email to gailssouthernliving@yahoo.com, and I will set that up with you. I believe I have set up for next week. I went ahead and set it up in StreamYard, but I need to firm the date with. I think next week I'm going to have Andell Homestead and the Colony on.
Yeah, show that on. I set the reminder for
it. I went ahead and set it up, but I need to firm that date with her. So if I change it to something else, it's because I wanted to go ahead and get it out there. So
yeah, that's why I emailed you, because this way, if I have a set date and time, I can make sure my schedule is open from that.
Yeah. Hi, Joe Garden State Gardener. All right. Yeah.
Yes, you're blue, Darren.
Yes, you're smart.
Hi, Garden State Gardener.
I figured that you could help with links. I was pretty sure you were going to be in here tonight. So, alrighty. So I already asked you what state you're in. You're in South Carolina, so we already answered that question. What kind of animals do you have?
I have As far as outside animals, I have 6 chickens. I have 2 barred rocks, a golden lace Wyandotte, a Rhode Island red, a splash Maron, if I'm correct, or no, splash Americana, and a Polish.
Which one is your favorite? Which breed?
I love Taco, my golden lace Wyandotte, because she's beautiful, but she's
It's the
really
black and
jittery.
white one, right? Aren't they black and white?
No, no, that's the
Oh,
barred rock, or some people call them
well, I
Dominican.
have 3 barred rocks myself, but I mean, there's one that has the white, a bunch of white with the like black polka dots, almost like. I was thinking that was the wine dot, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, my Wyandotte is black and brown. The splash one is my young one. The splash and the Polish were born on June 6th, and the other ones I got 3 years ago.
Yeah, I have 15 chickens myself.
I
One
want a
is a
bunch of
rooster.
chickens, but with renting, I'm not gonna go over my limit over so many.
Yeah.
And it's like my barred rock rooster. I've had him from the beginning. My barred rock hen is my smallest chicken, but she gives me the biggest eggs. She gives me the double yolkers. I don't know how she gets them out sometimes, but she does.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
But I mean, honestly, I don't have a favorite. I love them all.
Yeah, I like.
It's hard.
I'm partial to the temperament of the Americanas, the Easter eggers. I like their temperament. They're not like overly feisty.
Well,
That's
last year I got the Rhode Island Red and the 2 meat birds from my neighbor. They had gone out of town, and because I had chickens, they asked if I could keep an eye on them. Well, we had this huge rain front come through and a cold front along with it. And we went from like 85 degrees to after a rain, it was in the low 60s. And so they lost one of their Rhode Island Reds. And I told them, I said, is it okay if I bring them in my house, keep them warm? And they said, yeah. And they ended up giving them all to me.
I have two. I have 2 Rhode Island Reds, and one of them is the meanest one. Is the meanest one of all my chickens actually. I
My
like Rhode
road,
Islands. Yeah.
Miss
Hello,
Red
cosmic
might
cultivators.
Miss Red may end up being chicken soup, because I love her. I can hold her and pet her, but she likes her eggs.
Hmm. Broody.
And no, eating them.
Oh, eating them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to leave mine out there very long because I actually have, I got 6 and I got 6 more. And then after that, I got 2. So I have 3, sets. And this last time I only got 2, but somewhere in there is an egg eater. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I try not to leave them out there too long.
I
But right
have,
now they're molting, so I'm not getting a ton of eggs. So that's not
well,
good.
I made a rollaway egg thing for in there, and I'm working on the video for it, but I think I need to relay it out. So
Where they'll
we'll see
kind of,
how it goes.
after they lay them, they'll kind of roll somewhere and
It'll,
they
yeah,
can't.
I use the paint pans and it'll go in the bottom and it's covered up so they can't get to it.
That's a
But the
great idea.
setup, the setup I'm doing, I'm not comfortable with, so I'm gonna try something different. So I gotta go through that tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to watch that video because I need that myself. How did you come up with your channel name? Hello, Skinner Farms.
Hi, Skinner Farms. My CityGirl Countryheart. Let's see. I became friends with a woman up in Canada. She lives like a half hour from the border where she's at in Canada. She's right above North Dakota. And her name, God, what was it? Her page name on there is Stilettos to Cowboy Boots. And I just found her page by chance, and I had been telling my husband that I wanted to work on a make my own page. And the more I got talking to her and getting um ideas from her, the more I started popping out names. So City Girl Country Heart is actually a combination of 2 different names. And when I was picking names, her and I were talking one night, and my husband goes, "You're not a city girl. You don't belong in the city. So you are definitely a country girl at heart. So why not the name City Girl Country Heart?" And I was like, "Hey, Eric, what do you think of this name?" And she goes, "It's perfect." So that was it, and it stuck. In the beginning of the page, when I was doing the like page, the first few years, because it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, um, I've been wanting to delete it off and on. And my husband, before he passed away, he goes, "Make me one big promise." And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Don't you dare delete your like page on Facebook, just because I got a funny feeling it's gonna blow up." I've got over 7,000 likes on there. It's slow going with the likes, but it's going there. Oh, I think she froze. I know, Darren, you're waiting on the video, me doing that video. I got a few videos that I'm trying to do. Gail froze on my end. Can you guys still see me and hear me? Okay. I don't know what's going on here, and I know it's not my end because my internet's working. I'm not gonna tap dance, Darren. Sorry, not gonna happen. I'm very comfortable right where I'm at. Gail, you still there? If you're still there, type something in the chat. And yes, I will be working on that rollaway. She froze on my end. Now it's just me. I will be working. I'm working on that rollaway egg catcher thing. I just gotta get it set right, and that's why I ain't said nothing to nobody. Bushcraft family, where are you again? I can't remember where you're at. Garden State Gardener, I'm feeling really good. Um, been dealing with some family stuff last few days, so I'm tired. I've had two or three big cups of coffee today. A few of these and my Gatorades. Welcome back, Gail.
Yeah, buffering on my own life. What?
Are you dealing with that storm over there in Texas?
No, I just have trouble with my internet sometimes. I don't know
Okay.
why.
How far in are you from that?
Um, well, my sister is near Houston, and she said it was going to hit them. So but we're several hours from where she's at. You know, because Texas is huge.
Oh, I know. I have
So it,
family in Dallas Fort Worth area.
yeah,
So I
and I'm
don't know.
about 2.5 hour, 3 hours from there.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm sure you finished answering that question because you were on and I wasn't. So here's the other question that goes with that question. Why did you start your YouTube channel? Hello, Hyde Homestead.
Is that how it's pronounced? Hyde
I don't
Homestead?
know. I
I
just
call
yeah.
it Hig
I
Homestead.
just I just went with it. I just act
Well,
like I
even
know
my
what I'm
hello.
saying. Even when I'm doing my devotional, if it comes to a word I don't know, I just kind of make up what I think it should be. And then if you don't make it
Hey,
sound like
whatever
you messed it
works.
up, then people usually will go with
Exactly.
it. But there's still a few out there that'll correct you. And but
Okay.
Huga, it's
Why?
Huga.
Huga. Okay, I'll remember that. It's different. I like it. Why I started my YouTube channel? Back in 2017, my husband got brain cancer. So I had to learn real fast how to stock up on things, save things. I delved into canning, learning how to can. The reason why I started my
Because of
YouTube
like
channel,
finances or
no, because I was gonna be a single mom. and everything was going to change for us. 2 weeks after my husband passed away, I went to the office manager, said we need another place. We can't stand being in the house. So he called his boss and he told us about this house. So my son and I came over and looked at it, and I liked it. I liked it. He said I could do whatever I wanted with the yard and whatnot, and I can to an extent. And
Yeah, I saw that in a couple of your videos. There were a few
yep.
things where he would kind of mess up your gardening plans a little bit with his plans,
Oh yeah. Oh
but then
yeah.
he would help you by smoothing out stuff. Hello,
Kind of.
Silhouette Park Farm and Stars Prepper.
Hi Nettie.
Hi, sis.
But the reason why I started it is because becoming a single mom, having to learn to do everything, going from gardening in Jersey to gardening in South Carolina was a whole nother dimension, and she froze again. Um, I wanted to show others that were in my situation that they could start over again and see where things went from that, because learning new things is always something I like to do. Hi, free handling maid. How you doing, Nettie? And I hear Gail again.
Hi, sis. Hi, Lori's World. I thought I better hurry up and get that out before I get.
Hi, Lori's World. But yeah, did you hear what I said?
No, but they heard. I'm sure they
Okay.
heard. Well, go ahead and tell me your answer. I do want to know
Well,
your answer.
the reason why I started it, because becoming a single parent, my daughter is 20 now. She has um, anxieties, and scoliosis. My son is 15 now. He has ADHD, anxieties, and was recently diagnosed with scoliosis because it's hereditary. He had a much higher chance of getting it. But I wanted to show others that were in my situation, that they were on the verge of losing a loved one or have lost them, that they could start over again and they could learn new ways to do things. Gardening in South Carolina has been a challenge for me, but it's been a challenge I enjoy.
That's my biggest fear, is being left in this house all by myself. That's my biggest fear. So, yeah, when I was watching your videos today and I found out you were a widow, I was like, oh, that's like my biggest fear. I hate that. I hate that for you. Um, and your name is CityGirl Countryheart. Have you ever actually lived in the country?
No.
No.
My
You just
grandfather comes from deep in the hills of West Virginia, and growing up, I always loved gardening with my dad and my mom and any family members that did. And when I was 9 years old, I got to meet my dad's father for the first time. And where he lived, his, his landlord was up on a hill above him, and she had a huge garden. He had friends across the street, and you had to go down into their property, and they had animals and they had huge gardens, and I felt more at home out in the country. I
Mhm.
don't feel at home in the city environment. It's just I don't belong in the city environment. I'm out. I'm supposed to be out in the country.
Yeah. My we lived in the country a few times. We also lived in the city a few times because my parents used to move around. And but my dad, even when we were in the city, he would always have a garden, and I would always be following him around, watching him. I wish I had watched him closer on a few things, because I'm sure he had more knowledge to impart that I did not quite sink in.
Yeah.
I should have asked him a few more questions, because now I'm asking my mom those questions and she doesn't know because he was the gardener. So I'm like, oh, now I'm getting to the point I want to ask. I pretty much stayed in my comfort zone of gardening until I got into shed wars and tried to branch out. And
Yeah.
then that's when I had some failures because I was growing things I'd never grown before. So,
I like trying to grow new things all the time
I do
because
too.
I will try foods I've never tried before, and if we like them, I'll try growing them. This year,
Hi, Pepper.
I'm doing grapevines, and the vines are doing good. The one is slower because there was a tree branch hanging over it, but now that's down. That will catch up. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed trying new things and doing new things.
Me too.
My best friend on my phone is Google, and my biggest thing is, like they say, no question is a stupid question. I will Google everything, research everything to no end, and then I'll go ask questions from people that I know have had that experience. I like getting their answers. It's the same. Ask 10 farmers the same question, you'll get 10 different answers, and they'll learn from each other. That's the way I am.
Yeah, I like learning new things. For a while there, my mom said, she said, I thought you were never going to stop taking classes. She said you were always learning. I said, I get tired of something if I do it so long, and I think to myself, there's got to be something more I can learn, something else that I can learn. And so I just wanted to keep trying new things. I've been a secretary. I've been a paraprofessional. I've been a cashier. I've done bagged groceries. I've done
Mm-hmm.
medical coding and billing. I have been an office manager. I am literally the jack of all trades. I literally have not stayed at this. I mean, I stayed in the medical field for about 10 or 15 years, but I did receptionist, then I did billing, and I did medical records. So I did 3 different parts of that. But yeah, hello, Simply Jan. How are you?
Hi, Jan. Darren, I can pick your brain anytime because you have a wealth of knowledge in that head of yours. But I also like to Google everything too.
Yeah.
Hi, Jan. Hi, Rusty.
Um, on if you won the lottery tomorrow and you had all the money in the whole wide world, would you move from your house out into the country?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
In
that.
a
I knew you were going
heartbeat.
to say that.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that. How long have you been on YouTube?
Since August 19th, 2018. So 3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
3 years. Wow. Wow. I've just made my year. Just made my year.
I've had my ups and downs with it because I don't stay just in the homesteading community. I follow multiple communities.
Yeah, I have a few different
And
communities too.
um a couple years ago, some friends of mine they were having a whole bunch of drama issues, and I got pulled into it. And up until New
We've had
Year's
some
Eve,
drama issues in the homesteading, shed wars,
yeah,
gardening community as well.
I know, and I've told people I have had homesteading channels block me, okay, and to where I can't see those people in the chat, and I'm okay with that. I have nothing against them. I still love them. But I have many names I follow people with on YouTube. So they get the watch time from me, they get the like from me, and they get the comment from me still. If they want to block me, if they want, okay? I don't get in the middle of drama. If this
You have a
channel
more
has,
loving spirit than me because if I know that they are don't like me anymore, then I'm going to unsub them and I'm going to leave them alone. And if I go into a chat and I see them, I'm going to go somewhere else.
I'm
That's
not
me.
like that because
I'm more of a avoid, avoid, avoid.
I can't do that because
Run, run, run,
I
flight.
have I have learned over the last few years since dealing with my husband with his cancer, you're gonna come across people that are having bad days, they're having bad times in lives, and you don't know what's going on. So if you just like, I know I have friends through YouTube, on Facebook. This one don't like this one for this reason, or this one feel like they're
I
backstabbed for this
know. I
reason.
like to make up my own
If
mind who I
they
want to
want to
hang out with.
have the drama, leave it between them two. Don't
Mm-hmm.
pull
I've had
everyone
that.
else inside
Yeah, I've had
because.
people try to pull me one way or the other
Mhm.
direction as well. And I'm like, let me make up my own mind. And later on, I
Yep.
may decide that. But I have warned a few people about a couple of other people that I've
Yeah.
had problems with because I didn't want them to have the same problems. But
Yeah,
of
I
course,
can
recently I
understand
had a
that.
stalker, so I'm a little more
Yeah.
glass half empty right now. But maybe,
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks I might be fine. But right now I'm still a little nervous about that situation. So,
But it's like I won't take sides. If this one wants to say, "Oh, I'm unsubbing you because you're not supporting this one, you're not sticking up for this one," I don't get in the middle of the drama. I won't,
hi, Donna.
because of the drama I went through. I've had the death threats, the rape
I haven't had
threats,
death
the house
threats.
blowing up threats. I've had all of that, and I've been through all that.
I've had the
I'm
thumbs
not.
down.
It's a view. It's a view.
Yeah.
They must like you enough to give you a thumbs down.
Yeah,
So,
I stirred up such love in them that they had to thumbs down me. Yeah,
mhm,
I'm getting
it's
them right now, but I mostly avoid drama. And recently, I had a channel that was left a couple of mean comments on my videos. So I went back and watched about 8 videos and left a bunch of nice comments. They came back and left another mean comment on my video. And so I decided, since I was nice to them and they still wanted to be mean with me, that I would just leave their world and their community and go
yeah,
on.
but
So I made that decision. But I did
yeah,
try to heap coals of kindness and love
mhm,
upon them.
sometimes you got
However,
to.
in this case, it did not work.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's
So
like that,
I gave them
and
God's love. They didn't want it. So I'm going to
mhm,
go on and try to find somebody else who might want some of that kindness.
oh yeah.
So, what was your favorite thing that you grew in your garden this year?
Well, my garden didn't do very well. My garden is full of weeds right now because the job I got doing, I work at home. I answered phone calls for emergency roadside assistance. So my garden turned into a disaster. I had volunteers for tomato plants come up. I got some out of that. Let's see, I did grapevines, blueberry plants this year, potatoes for the first time. I think my favorite thing right now, um, I had lots of kale come up. I had some beets I got. Um, right now, my favorite thing that I grew is the potatoes because I had never done that, and even though they were as small as they were, it was really cool that it actually worked out. And seeing my grapevine doing as good as they're doing, and seeing I'm still seeing volunteer plants. Um, so yeah, my grapevine and my potatoes this year. But
Yeah.
I have more stuff going in for my fall. In my containers, I have my zucchini, my carrots, my radishes, and my beets.
So, what did you grow this year that you decided I'm not doing that again?
The stuff that came up this year, nothing I grew this year would be like that. My herbs inside, they're doing good. Everything has done good this year. I don't have anything. I grow everything I grow. Um, is stuff that we like and we eat. I won't give up trying to grow things because it may not work for in ground, but it may work for container. I like trying
Yeah.
different things.
I noticed that with my kale. It grew better on the front porch than it did in the backyard. And it had to do with the shading and where it was sitting. And I just decided I'm going to put it back on the porch. It grew all winter long, even with that really, really bad snow that we had in Texas last year, that it was
Yeah,
cold, really cold for a week. I mean, really cold for Texas for a whole week. Like our power was out and everything.
yeah,
And that kale got snowed on and still was fine. So and I grew it in one of those Miracle Grow bags where you cut it out like a frame. And I
yeah.
think I'm just going to buy another one, and I'm just going to grow kale and parsley on my front porch all during the fall and winter. just like I did last year.
It's like one of the craziest things this year that a couple years ago, a friend of mine gifted me with. I was sent some. It was supposed to be two peach trees. One was supposed to be an Alberta peach tree, and the other a Red Haven. Well, the Alberta peach tree turned out to be a plum tree. So that was like something totally new. They were delicious, but I'm gonna be trying this fall, and Darren's gonna help me out with this. Trimming my plum tree and my peach tree, and I'm gonna be digging them up and putting them in containers because next year, as long as everything goes well, um, we may be moving from here and going somewhere else. So I want to take them with me.
Yeah, that sounds good. I definitely want to do fruit trees this year. One of the things I was excited about in my garden is I actually got some loofah, and it's about like, uh,
I
it's
have
about
seeds for that. I have seeds
maybe
for
this
that.
long. It was
So
supposed to grow up on a trellis, but we had some real bad weather, like that real bad wind and stuff, and it broke the
mhm.
frame where it was supposed to grow up on. But it started just growing up around and on the zinnias. So I just let it do its thing, and there's finally one coming out. So I'm like, yay! I want to see. And then after that, once I saw that, then I actually started watching the videos of it, and I was like, the loofah grows inside and has that outer layer like a tomatillo
Yeah,
that you peel off, and the seeds are inside that. So I started watching videos about it. I was like, well, there's no need to watch a video if I'm not a success yet. So I started watching the videos after I saw it growing. I was like, yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Hi,
yeah.
Anne Marie, Big Dreams Homestead. How are you?
Hi, Big Dreams and Granny Maria.
Yeah,
Yes,
hi, Granny
Aaron.
Moreno, if I haven't said hi yet.
Printing lessons from 10,000 miles away. Yes.
Let's see. We've already discussed that. Do you have any specific plans for the garden next year? Things that, you know, ways you're going to set it up or different things you're going to, what do you do with loofah? You can, you can, loofah, you can use it to scrub your dishes, scrub your
Mhm.
body, I believe.
You can put it in a
Some
mold
other
with
people
soap.
have other projects where they infuse or put soap in it.
Mhm. They
I'm
make
gonna have to
soap
do a
and
little
put the
more
loofah
research.
in.
If I get more
Yeah,
successful, then I'll have to do more research.
yeah. That's one of the
But
things I want to do next year. Because this year I want to get into soap making and candle making again. Like next year for my garden, I want to. I'm gonna do a lot of succession planting. I have a 10 by 40 garden, and that's just the in ground. So I want to do a lot of succession, especially with like tomatoes, so I can get them canned up. And it's gonna be a lot of stuff that we're gonna use: the beans, the cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers. Um, I don't want something to be. It's gonna take forever for it to grow and mature. So we'll see how that goes.
I think you can eat loofah. I don't
You
know if I
can.
necessarily intend to eat it, but you know what? In my brain, and I didn't know, I'd never watched videos on it or anything. In my brain, I thought loofah came out like that sponge. I had no idea it had a coating on it until literally 3 days
You're not
ago.
the
I
only
looked out,
one.
and when I saw it growing, I was like, it looks like a little squash or a little
Mhm.
cucumber. And
If
I'm
you
like,
get it,
what?
if you get it and pick it when it's real young, probably about 6 inches long. Um, anywhere, yeah, 5 6 inches long. You can eat it. You can eat it like a zucchini.
Hmm. I actually want to get seeds and be able to have it. And then if I get a few, then I'll research it. Uh, but yeah, if I get a bunch, of course I'll have some seeds to share. But I
They're
did get
prolific.
some at the
They are prolific.
yeah, I did get some from the YouTube meetup last year, and I already had some, and they said, "Oh, go ahead and just take it. I have too much." So because of that, I could plant that and still have some for the next year.
Yeah.
So I will be able to swap seeds with people on that, if I get some successful out here.
They
So
put
we'll
out
see.
seeds like okra does. Okra puts out a lot of seeds.
Yeah, I have red
And
okra seeds also that I'm going to do seed swapping on.
I'm gonna order some more red okra seeds. My neighbor across the street, he bought some, and so he grew Clemson spineless and he grew a red okra, and they're just beautiful. Right now, he's letting what's
Oh, the
left on the
plant
plants. What
is
he's letting
beautiful.
what
You could grow
okra.
that in the front yard
Yep.
and it would look like you had some kind of really cool flower. I mean, the vines are red, the leaves are beautiful. Mackenzie Lindstrom sent me the seed for that, and so I started letting them grow long so I could save the seed. The seed's bigger, and then I get them all out, and then I put them on the front porch. I have a couple of chairs out there, and I put them on a tray that has a lip on it, and I just let them sit out there and dry. Once they're dry, then I'll put them in a bag and I'll start sectioning them up. So I'm trying to get ready for doing a seed swap like we did last year. I haven't had that many takers on it yet, but maybe some people just haven't harvested their seed yet. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, last year, my neighbor with his garden last year, he had a whole bunch of okra pods that dried out, and he had already picked what he wanted. So I asked him if I could get what was left. I got about 30 pods. I have almost half of a gallon size Ziploc bag full of okra seeds.
Wow.
So I will have okra for many years to come.
Hi, Tiffany wears t-shirts. How are you?
Or Tiffany.
I loved your video, Tiffany, where you did the review on the men's underwear. I was just rolling. I was just cracking up so hard on that video when I was watching it. And my husband was listening and he was laughing so hard too. We were just, it was so funny. Thank you. Thank you for the awesome entertainment. I'm going to have to catch some more of your lives too. Anyway,
I've
sorry.
seen
I had
her
to,
channel
I
name.
had to say, I had to tell her how much she made me laugh because I really
That's
enjoyed
okay.
that. Huh?
I've seen her channel name before, but I haven't gone into it.
Yeah, that's part of another community that I've been a part of lately. Hello, Tony at Our Cabin in the Woods. Let me see what question I have for next. Okay. How long have you been canning?
Since November of 2017.
Okay.
I have been interested in it for a couple years, and my husband was like, "No, you're not going to do it because of botulism." He was freaked out by it. He's like, "You're not going to get us sick. I don't want us to get sick." And I was like, "Okay." So when he got sick, I really delved into it a lot more because beforehand he was like, "Okay, we'll do this." And what converted him over to saying, "Okay, let's try canning," was watching Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. I
Who again? I'm sorry. I missed the
deep
channel name.
Deep South Homestead,
Oh, okay.
and for the longest time, I always had headphones on when I would listen to homesteading channels. And one day, I told him, my husband, I was like, you know what? I listen and watch every video you are interested in, and I go along with your crazy ideas. Why don't you start listening to some of the stuff I listen to? And I told him about the porch time that Danny did, and he was okay. I'll listen to it. And so one day we were listening to it, and I went to go start dinner, and then one of their canning videos came back up, and I went to pause it. He goes, "No, leave it. I'm just gonna listen to it." I was like, "Okay." And he actually sat there and watched like 8 of their canning videos, and him and I got talking, and he goes, "If you want to get into canning because of them, I'm okay with it." I said, "I'd be following the guidelines." I said, "I ain't gonna go out of sorts or anything."
Yeah, I watched a lot of Homestead Tessie canning. I watched a lot of her doing it. So that's when I got my canner, my pressure canner, and my water bath canner, and my dehydrator. That all
Mm.
started from watching Homestead Tessie.
My first canner came from a canning group, Rebel Canners on Facebook. I was in there asking all kinds of canning questions, and one of the women in there messaged me, and she goes, "I have a canner I'd like to gift you." I was like, "Really?" And she was, "Yes." It was my grandmother's, then my aunt's, my mother's, and then mine. She was, "I have new ones, so I'm not using it. I'd like to see it." She was, "It's still good and usable. I'd like to see it get used." So, and I use it all the time. I still have it, and I use it all the time, and I love it.
I need to use my pressure canner more. Hi, Night Star Beauty. How are you?
Hello, Night Star Beauty.
Let's see. Okay. Do you have any other hobbies besides, canning and gardening? Thank you, Joe, Garden State Gardener, for the super chat. I appreciate it. You're awesome.
Crocheting, sewing. I need to get back into my candle making, my soap making. But I like trying all kinds of new things.
Yeah, I like to try new things too.
I like crafting things and making things. Like a few years ago, um, I was asking for the canyon rings for like the jars, and because people were complaining that they had all these extra rings, and I told them I was like, well, I'm looking for some because I want to make things out of them and sell them. So I got a couple people sent me a couple boxes of the extra canyon rings they had. So I made some pumpkins out of them, painted them, and sold them. So
That's
I like
cool.
crafting things. I like doing things.
I like crafts. I like craft stuff, like making wreaths and like painting things and stuff like that. I'm not real good with sewing, but I like gluing and painting stuff. Like
Yeah.
my dad was a house painter, and so our family always grew up painting. And if my dad would get a really big job, we would, if he wanted to finish it quick because he needed to pay a bill or whatever, we would all go out there and be work. And as we got older, he would pay us to go work with him. And he was a good
Yeah.
boss. He'd like, if he had money, he'd take us to lunch, and he paid us really well, even after we were grown. And I remember I was working at Walmart I was stocking groceries, and my dad would be like, "Okay, well, what day are you off? I need some help on the job." I'm like, "Okay," and I'd go and work for him for the day, and he'd pay me cash. So that was awesome.
I love the paint. I love to do ceramics and stuff like that. Wood make things with wood and stuff like that. It's relaxing for me, like gardening is. And it's like my son and I, if we go into the store in the spring, he goes, "We're not going near the garden section or the craft section." I said, "Oh, yes, we are." I said, "You want to go see things you want to do, like the fishing section? We're gonna go in the sections I like to do." So it's a compromise.
Hi, Logan. How are you?
Darren, you have a bunch of different hobbies.
Yeah, I know. I know he makes knives. I know he does good cooking.
Gorgeous
He
knives. He
does
makes me so
awesome
hungry.
gardening. So I know at least of those three
He makes me
talents
so
he has.
hungry when he does his cooking, and there's so many things I want to try.
I know. I
And
remember that ratatouille video. Man, that looked good. And then he made
yeah,
like some. He made like bread. I think he made bread out of like
pasta,
pumpkin.
the
That
pumpkin
was
spread.
cool.
Yeah,
That was cool. Who invited you to Shed Wars? I listened to a video where you said your friends were in it. So who officially invited you to Shed Wars?
I wasn't invited. I heard about Shed Wars from who was it? Darren and one other person. And Darren was up on the panel. I forget what channel it was. I had gone on the panel and was telling people the different things I like to do. And Robert from Homestead Aquarius was in there. I couldn't see the chat because I was on my phone. And Darren was telling me that Robert said that I could probably get into Shed Wars doing that, but I made it clear that I wanted to get into Shed Wars and do it. And I did my video and put it up, and I got in.
That's awesome. John's the one that invited me, but like Walsh Farms and Homestead Aquarius and Lala Farms, we're all kind of talking to me about it and stuff too. So
I didn't even know Shed Wars was out there at all
yeah. And for
until
you
I
guys who
heard
are
about
not in the
people talking
gardening
about it.
community, Shed Wars is a worldwide gardening community.
Yeah.
Um, where we're trying to teach people how to grow because of all the, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to go rogue because of all the food shortages, the wheat shortages,
The
the
health.
crops, all the natural disasters, everything going down right now. We need to figure out how to grow our own food, can our own food, dehydrate our own food. You know, we need to have more than a week's worth of food in our house at a time.
Oh yeah. I've been working on dehydrating stuff, and I dehydrated, what was it, 10 pounds
There's
of
my
different
soapbox.
10 pounds of different vegetables. And I got this container from Family Dollar. It's like a $2 plastic container, and I filled over 10 pounds of dehydrated vegetables into that container.
Wow.
Yep. I got to do more because the container's almost empty now.
Wow, that's awesome. I have some cucumber chips on the dehydrator right now. I got the recipe from Bushcraft Family, and I did it pretty much like he did, except for he said you could use olive oil instead of vinegar, and vinegar was more readily available at that moment, so I did it with the vinegar. But yeah, I have it dehydrating right now, so I don't know how it's going to come out, but
I might have
it's
to try that because I love dipping my cucumbers. I'll cut up a cucumber, put it in a bowl, and put vinegar, salt, and pepper on it.
yeah. Uh, Bushcraft Family has a video on that.
There's Robert.
I still swear I invited you during North Shore Preparedness Love Raid. You and Carla, maybe another lady, old and forgetful.
I
Robert.
don't. If you did, Robert, I don't remember. But I know I was on a live with Darren, and I've been talking about wanting to go on in Shed Wars, and um, I was interested in everything because doing the compost and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it motivated me to do
Mhm.
more than I would have done without Shed Wars. It's like you felt like people were always watching you, and so you were motivated just to keep going.
Mhm.
Like normally I'd be pulling stuff out and just be like, okay, I'm done with this. But now I'm thinking, okay, let me get this bed ready so I can plant something else, so I can make
Yeah.
another video, so I'll have something for October. So I'm thinking like that when I wouldn't normally be thinking like that,
Yeah. Me
which should
too.
be what we're thinking like because of the way the world's going right now. There's no there's no guarantees,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
You said in your video that you didn't care what team you got on, but once you got on the team, were you happy you were on Will It Grow, or did you hope that you were on Team Aquarius?
It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be on Shed Wars,
Yeah.
so it really didn't matter. It was funny during the live stream when they were picking names. I missed like the first 10, 15 minutes of it. And then I popped in, and it was like 2 minutes later, John was saying my name, which was weird. So I was scared I missed it. And I was like, I'm going to have to go back and watch this after this is all done. This will
I know.
explain everything.
It was so torturous to watch a whole day and think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get picked. And then finally the next day you get picked. You're like, okay, good.
Mm
He goes, you knew you were going to be on my team.
hmm.
So, because John's the one that invited me. So, but I mean, I would have been perfectly happy with Robert as well. Robert's
Yeah.
cool too. What did you decide to plant for your single seed challenge?
Well, my single seed challenge was the potato. And I did it grown in an odd container, which was one of my chicken feed bags.
Yeah, I saw your harvest of that. You said that you bought some grow bags and you said I'm only going to get 1 year out of them, but I did get 1 year out of them. So I
Yeah,
remember.
the no, they're the fabric bags from Family Dollar that you can pay for $1.
Yeah,
They
that you
didn't
like
last long.
put clothes in up in your closet. Those kind of like bags like that. Those little square rectangular looking ones. Yeah,
No, I didn't have them. The single seed challenge that I did was a single potato I found on the shelf. I put that in one of my chicken feed bags. The other potatoes, I was a friend of mine gave me some extra grow bags he had. Um, so I put potatoes in that. I put potatoes in a plastic tub.
hi Brampton Gardner.
Um, I put potatoes in food grade barrels that I cut in half. And I've got one more barrel that I have to get potatoes out of. I want to see how they do. I'm going to let them get a few more weeks so they're still green and
Yeah,
growing.
I seen you do your harvest. I was getting my tire fixed today, and I was watching you harvest your potatoes out of the bag. I was doing my research so I'd know what kind of questions I wanted to ask you. So I did mine as collard greens, and I harvested off of that 5 or 6 times.
Oh, you
And
can.
I'm not sure now if it's going to come back. I'm not completely sure on that yet. But how did your celery do? Because I think I saw you did celery. Did it? Mine too. Mine fell too. Okay. Well,
It didn't
we're failure
even
buddies there
grow.
because my celery looked really good for a while,
It
and
didn't
then
even grow. I think because
mine did. It got like this, and it looked green and pretty, and then all of a sudden it just started dying and then I dug it
because
up, and there wasn't even anything. It was,
no, because of the schooling I was doing, the course for the work at home job, they the class I was in was usually a 6 week class, and my class was the very first one that they shrunk down from 6 weeks to 3 weeks, and there was like 30 people in that class. Um, so I had like a month right there that I wasn't on YouTube. I wasn't doing videos. I wasn't going to lives or watching videos. Um, and then when I got working, it was 40 hours a week. And then when I started my business, it went up because they were offering more hours. It went up to close to 65 hours a week. So my life pretty much revolved around my job and this laptop. And like I've told Darren and some others, yeah, my garden suffered, but getting my family ahead with my job was a whole lot more important.
you gotta make
Do
choices.
do I want to do shed wars again next year? Yeah, because yeah, I'm only going to be doing things in my garden that grow for a short time, but I'm also going to be doing more containers because we
Yeah.
may not be here a whole year next year. I don't know. It's
Yeah, and
everything's
you
being
can
played
move your
by ear.
containers to where you're
Exactly.
going. So
Yep.
yeah, I've heard people say that. Even those gallon buckets that they have in the stores that have
Yeah.
the handles, that would be perfect for what you're doing because
Yep.
but I think I didn't do my containers didn't get as much of that really good compost like I did in my beds that I prepped earlier. So I think that's why some of the things in my containers didn't grow as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start composting those like right away. Like all during the winter, I'm going to be composting, getting
Okay.
all those containers ready so that that soil will be as rich
I need.
as the rest of the soil.
I'm gonna
Plus, we
be.
have a compost bin now too. We didn't have that last year. I bought
Well,
a lot of Miracle Grow stuff last year, but this year I have a compost bin that I've been working on. Been adding, leaves and different paper material, different kinds of things in there. So next year I should not have to buy soil,
yeah.
or if I do, it'll be a lot less.
Well, what I'm gonna be doing with the kiddie pool that has my strawberries in it, I'm gonna get some smaller buckets and put them in that because the pool isn't gonna last forever. I know it's not. It's starting to break and crack real easy. The big kiddie pool that I had my compost and my sweet potatoes are in.
Hi, Amy, Craze Family Homestead. Welcome.
But I want to get more containers and more dirt so I can grow more containers. Like my elderberries, they're not going to stay in the ground. They're going to come up this fall.
Do you start elderberries from seed or from a cutting?
I was given cuttings. My very first video I did, my friend Patrick from Breakaway Homestead, he said, "I'll get you elderberry cuttings from up here because he's in North Carolina." He goes, "But you won't get them unless you do a video on showing how to plant them." I said, "What?" He goes, "That's the deal." I was like, "Okay." My very first video, I had to try recording a few times because I almost got sick to my stomach several times because I was that nervous. It was crazy, but
Yeah, I used to get really, really nervous on my lives, and I would like take a deep breath, like right before I
mm-hmm.
went on. I still do that sometimes, but not as much as I used to. I'm getting more comfortable with it. But if you met me in junior high or high school, or even in my early 20s, you would have never guessed me to be the one sitting here talking to 16 or 23 people in a live stream. That would not be something you would have predicted for me to do.
Me neither, because I had a close net of friends and I stayed with them.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I knew a lot of adults because my father was an alcoholic. So whenever between when I lived with my mom and stepdad,
Hard to have friends when
it
your dad's an
was
alcoholic.
yes,
I know
and you
that.
grow up going to bars. Because of my dad being an alcoholic, living with my dad when I was young, if we went anywhere with my dad, we ended up at a bar. So in one of the towns near the town we lived in back home, I knew the by 11 years old, I knew the layout inside and out of three of those bars. I knew the layout inside and out of five of the bars that in my hometown because my dad went there all
Did
the
you
time.
grow up? Did you grow up ever going to bars, or did
Yep,
that draw you in or push you away from that scenario?
it pushed me away from the bars because at 12, 13 years old, the way my body was built, when you have grown men that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s hitting on
Oh
you,
yeah, they're looking
it
at you.
pushes you away from that. But
Yeah.
I mean, my dad couldn't leave my brother and I home, especially if our uncle wasn't there. He wasn't going to leave us home alone, so we had to go wherever he went. I mean,
Yeah, my,
yeah,
my dad was
I
pretty
don't
much
agree
a
with
drink
it.
at home and torture all of us with his lovely words
No,
kind of drinker.
I don't agree with it, but I never stopped loving my dad because of it. It made us closer because of when I was 16, he hit rock bottom and started going to AA. And because we lived with our uncle, my uncle's ultimatum was you either go to AA starting tonight or you're going to be homeless. And he goes, Terrie too. So my dad started. He slipped up a couple times, but after that, when he passed away, he was just short of his 16 years sober.
My dad went from one addictive behavior to another addictive behavior to another until his death.
Mm.
That was my dad. So, and he still had values, some values, like he took us to church, and he didn't cuss. My mom didn't cuss. That's why you're not going to hear me cuss, because I didn't grow up with that. If my mom said a cuss word, she just stubbed her toe. Literally, she's in pain and she doesn't know what she's saying. Hello,
Oh
Carla.
yeah.
Now, if you hear a cuss word coming out of my mouth at my house, I'm really mad. You better get out of my way,
I can't say
because
that
I
I'm not
don't.
like that because
Yeah.
when I'm mad, I can turn into a sailor. Um,
That's what I'm saying. When I'm mad, I turn into a sailor too. And if
my
I'm cursing, you better get out the way.
my daughter at 12 years old was diagnosed. This is before they changed it to full spectrum disorder. With high functioning Asperger's and high functioning anxieties. When they tested her for severity of her autism, they only go up to 10 for severity. The doctor tested her at 18, 19. So when my daughter was 14, my son was aggravating the living daylights out of her. My 14-year-old daughter turned from a sweet angel to a sailor that she would make a sailor turn yellow in a heartbeat. She said, "You name it," she said it. And boy, did it shut my son up.
Yeah, my mom was pretty conservative. Her parents were very conservative. My mom's side of the family was more conservative. My dad's side of the family was not conservative. So I had one extreme and the other. And I guess because of all the chaos in my childhood, in my family, I was more drawn to mom's side of the family because the rules and the non-chaos actually
Yeah,
was something I craved more, the peace, which is why I'm a flight, not a fight kind of girl. I would rather have the peace and just quietly go away over here. But you're not going to take anything from me that I feel like I deserve either. I'm
exactly.
not going to let you walk all over me, you know.
Yeah, I'm.
So there's been some situations here on YouTube where I could have said, "Oh, you're so mad at me. I better just go on now." No.
It's like when I go live, I know I have people to watch that don't like me, and I call them my lurkers. And a lot of my mods, a bunch of my mods will lurk. That I've had, I will not take them away as my mod because they got me through some very dark times when I was dealing with my depression. I'd go to their lives in the middle of the night and be at their live 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And when my kids went to school, I'd go to sleep. And so those are, if I have someone as a mod on my channel, it's because I trust them. If I'm going to take
Yeah.
someone away, I will talk to them and let them know, hey, this is why I'm taking you off as a mod. It's a
Yeah.
respect. It's a respect thing.
A couple of people I took off as mods because I felt like they did it for a bunch of people and I didn't want to burden them with that.
Yeah.
So it was never meant to be an insult. I really can't think of anyone I've ever taken off a mod that I did it because I wasn't happy with them for some reason.
Yeah.
Really haven't. If I made you a mod, I liked you, I trusted you. So
Yeah.
if I
That's
ever
the
made
way.
you a mod, if I took you off, I was probably trying to unburden you. I wasn't
Oh,
insulting you.
yeah. And it's like, if I have someone as a mod, and I have mods that will lurk, and I will tell my lurkers during my live stream, hello to my lurkers, I love you, whether they like me or not. But I know they're there. So, and it don't bother me. They can lurk all they want. I
Yeah,
know
well, I recently had a
Robert's
stalker,
very good
so
at lurking.
yeah, I recently had a stalker, so there's someone going around thumbs downing my videos right now. So, but
But they love you
this is
enough to
already
give
my
you a thumbs down.
second set of thumbs down situations. So, I'm getting used to it now. I'm getting tougher. YouTube's making me tougher,
It
actually.
will. It will. It'll thicken your skin up in a heartbeat.
That's sweet, Logan. Thank you. Yeah, you should go live, Logan. That would be good for your channel. I don't know how many watch hours you have, but let's see. What did Carla say? It's hard
A
for
lot
me
of people
to be
think
in the
that
chat, but it's almost
it's
there.
a lot of people think it's scary to go live. Yeah, you get nervous, but once you get into it, it's actually real fun.
I mean, I like it. I prefer it when I have a panel because then I don't feel like I'm so much on stage as much. You're still responsible for what's going on your panel,
Yeah.
but you don't have to fill every second with words when
Yeah.
you're the only one talking. Like if I run out of my StreamYard minutes, then I'm like, oh no, I got to be up here by myself because literally I only use I only use the StreamYard that's free. I only use the apps on my phone that are free. I only use the Canva that's free. I don't pay for anything for YouTube unless it's for a recipe of something we're actually going to eat at our house.
Okay.
I can't afford to spend money on things like that. So, because I'm a housewife, I'm at home, I had an injury. So I make do, and I'm used to that. I mean, I didn't grow up rich,
Me
so
neither.
I'm used to making do. This is just me. This is what I do. It's not me being deprived of something. I've really not ever had anything, so I don't know what it's like to have anything. Now, when I
Yeah.
worked, I did have spending money, but
One of the things I learned as an Air Force brat, when you are part of a family that's a yours, mine, and ours family, um, you learn how to stretch foods a lot. You learn
yeah, my
how
mom made
to
stretch
do things.
foods, and I make the same stretch type foods
Yeah,
now that she made. I've adapted. I've got my own recipes, but there's still a lot of things my mom made that I still make them the same way. There's probably at least 10 dishes that I still make the way my mom made it when I was at home.
I love making big things. It's like I did a vegetable beef soup that my son really likes. I canned that up. I got 7 quarts of that. I've got, let's see, 15, no, 12 pints of the ham and bean soup that I did. So I'd have lunch while they're at school. I like doing things up and canning things I haven't canned before and trying new things. It's like Lisa from Sutton States. If it wasn't for her, I would never can dried beans. I would never thought of canning meats. Um, I
I want
love
to can
getting.
meat with all this rumors going around about this artificial meat they're about to put out.
Oh
That's
God,
making me want to can my own meat big time. Because can you imagine?
I love going and getting the corned beef briskets,
Mm-hmm.
and I will cut them up into chunks and put them into pint jars and can them up. It's absolutely delicious. It's a quick meal. I did that a couple years ago when we had 2 hurricanes come through down here. And I did beef stew. I did chicken, ground meat. I did corned beef brisket with the spices. And afterwards, and we had no damage here because of the storms. Um, we had a whole bunch of meals, and it came out awesome.
I need to do some meat canning myself. Do you have some videos on it on your channel?
I haven't done any videos on my channel for the canning meat. I'm getting into doing videos on my channel of canning.
Who did you watch when you were doing it?
Sutton's Days, Freedom Homestead, More to
Yeah, I remember
Life,
Sutton Days.
More to Life, Heather from the Needy Homesteader, Tuli Lou. Who else is it? Oh gosh.
I'm
My
thinking
biggest one
Homestead
was the
Tessie
Sutton's
did some
Days.
meats too, I
I'm
think.
not sure. Deep South Homestead. There's quite a few.
I would like to do some. I
Um,
do,
I'm gonna get into.
I am a closet prepper, I don't talk about it, but I do it.
Yeah.
But so I do have some things put up, but you realize though, as you're putting stuff up, that there are some things that you don't have.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, if you have some canned chicken and you have some canned tuna, maybe some canned pork and stuff like that,
Yeah.
what you really need to be canning is like hamburger meat or venison, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that looks really kind of gross looking,
Hey, it's a
people
quick
say,
meal. It's
but
a
I'm
quick
thinking if you
meal.
make it like I'm a closet prepper too. Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
be
If something
nowadays.
happens and they tell me I can't go to the store for a month,
Mhm. Well, it's like earlier
we
this
may not
year.
have, milk and cheese
Mhm.
and butter, things like that. Um, but we're going to have, pasta, things to make soup.
Oh
We
yeah.
have meat in the freezer. We have canned meat in the house. I have some things. I have actually um, water bathed canned or pressure canned. I do have some things, not as much as I need to have, But I do have some things here. We could live, I don't know how long, but we could live for a while. And water. We have water.
Well,
Water is like the most important thing.
I have a friend down here, and right before I started doing my classes for my job, Darren had tagged me in like a prepper video. So I did it, and I was having issues with, and I also did a questions video about me. And because I was having issues with my laptop, I lost both videos. Well,
You go
around
ahead
that,
and keep talking. Let me just take care of this
okay,
cat real quick, okay?
okay. Around that time, a friend of mine had an electrical house fire and lost everything. I gave her a bunch of homemade laundry soap. I gave her a bunch of canned goods. I gave her some dehydrated vegetables that I had done, a bunch of pasta, rice, and beans. I gave her clothes that didn't fit us anymore because um, with them losing everything, they've lost everything in their house except for very few items. And they, with me giving that, it helped them a lot, and it gave them that push to go forward. Hi, Red Road Homestead. But yeah, I do prep. I do not share my preps or how much I have because being a single mom, that's for my family. If stuff hits the fan, I'm not gonna let the world know what I have.
I have a rogue cat right now. Yeah, that's why I don't make videos about stuff like that because I think in the beginning I might have made a couple of videos like that and people got a little creepy with it. So I said, nah, we're not going that direction with our channel.
Some of the videos
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
do
be
make my own
doing,
laundry soap, Anne Marie.
yeah,
I do.
I did that after we moved in here, and it lasted me over a year.
I don't put I do a gallon at a time.
I don't
But
use a
it does
liquid.
last me a 5 gallon, I'm sorry, 5 gallons at a time. And it does last me months. I think I maybe have to make it like I want to say it lasts 3 months. What I need to do next time is I need to mark the date. And then when it runs out, mark the date and figure that out. But I think it lasts 3 or 4 months. So I'm thinking I make it 3 times a year. But once I make it, I don't even think about it. And I have extremely bad skin allergies. So the fact that I can use it means it's gentle on your skin.
Yeah. Well, the one mine's a powder, so I make one big batch and it lasts me over a year. So, and
Oh, a powder. Mine's
it
a
got
liquid.
revised. So I need to do a video of the revised recipe I used because I've gotten a lot of views on that video that I have, and I need to do one where it's an updated recipe.
I think there's a powdered version of the one that I do,
There's a few
or
of
a,
them
a,
out there.
a dry version.
Mhm.
Um, but I make it just because I don't have to go back and try to add water or anything to it.
Yeah.
Make a video. It's Gail. Make a video. It is low foaming and use
Front load machine.
load
Okay.
machine. Yeah. I do have a video on making laundry soap if anybody's interested. Don't know how many months ago I made it, but hello, Red Road Homestead Lena. How are you? Um, yes, my kitty thinks it's time to eat, and it's actually a little early, so I'm trying to appease him by giving him a little bit over here. But he's going to keep doing it. I'm only shortly appeasing him for a little while.
my
Let me see
cat
if
is
I have any more questions on
my
my list.
cat is spoiled because if he sees the littlest spot of the bottom of his bowl, he'll meow. He will come wake me up and headbutt me so I can get him some food. So I just grab a few pieces, put it in there, and he's happy.
Have you ever done hunting or fishing?
I love fishing. I will not touch a worm with my bare hands. I can put a live minnow on a hook. Hunting, I've never done hunting, but I want to try it.
Yeah, I have
Because
done that. I grew up in a hunting family, so I did do
so
hunting.
did I. My stepdad and my uncles all hunted every year. We went fishing all the time. But I wanna have that knowledge. I wanna have that experience that say, yeah, I know how to do this and I can do this because if something happens, I can feed my family.
Yeah, I have. I shot my very my very first time out. Well, I went hunting 2 days in a row. This is when I lived in a small city in Texas. And I went the night before and the next morning. The next morning, I shot my first deer. It was my first time to actually, I've been hunting, but not the one who was going to do the pow pow part.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I got my first deer, 11 point buck. It's hanging on the wall. My brother's does taxidermy.
That's nice
So
having
it's,
that.
yeah. So he did it for me and he did a really good job of it. And so I still have it. And every time someone comes to my living room, they tell my husband what an awesome looking deer he has hanging on the wall. Then he has to correct them and say, not my deer.
It's my wife's. Yeah,
And then
that's the
I'm
best
just
part.
smiling in the corner going, that was me. But yeah. Yeah, and I'm okay with fishing. I'm about the same. I can put the minnows on, but not as much into the worms either.
I can't
And
touch them. Mm-mm. I
but I can
when
do
I
the minnows. It took me a while. I trained myself to do the minnows. I
I
forced myself to do the minnows, and I was fine. So I forced myself to do things that I didn't want to do.
I don't know why, but I just can't do worms. I can't handle touching them. I have
Hi,
a bag.
KK.
I have a bag of Grubterra over there that I will not touch.
Oh, I
Even
can
though
touch
they're
them when they're
dead,
dehydrated.
no, I can't
I
do
just
it.
can't touch them
Mm-mm.
when they're all slimy and crawling and moving around. But when they're dry like that for the chickens, I can totally do that. I can touch that.
I can't
They
do that.
smell like they do smell like burnt meat though to me, kind of like, but with a slight whiff of peanuts almost.
No, I can't do
They
it.
have their own distinct smell. Those what do they call them? Mealworms. Mealworms.
Mm-mm.
I can touch those.
Mm-mm. Nope. I don't touch grubs. I don't touch worms. Caterpillars. No. I can.
You should have
This little
seen me
millipedes.
go after that caterpillar I saw the other day in my garden after it ate my squash leaves. I was not happy. I was not happy with
No,
that. And
I
then a
can't
couple of
do
days
that.
later, I saw another caterpillar.
I'll
Both
put
of
it
them
on.
died a horrific death, let me tell you.
I'll put on gloves, and my chickens will get wonderful treats. My
I
my
just kind
barred
of
rock,
poured something on top of it.
my barred rock hen. She is fast when it comes to seeing a caterpillar or a grub get tossed into the coop. She catches it like that and is gone.
Oh, Amy, can you send me over a bowl of ice cream
Oh, that sounds so
with
good.
some sprinkles and some whipped cream and a cherry on top? Yeah, I know that ice cream does sound good. Um, so how long have you been widowed?
October would be 4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
And are you dating someone now?
Yes. Darren from Down Under Farm and Forage. He's
That's what
mine.
I thought.
He's
After,
mine.
you know what? I feel so stupid because I did not know that until I just started to research your channel to ask you questions. I was like, oh my gosh. The whole time he was saying Terrie, I didn't know he was talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it finally, I put it together like literally 3 or 4 days ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid right now.
Yeah.
So I already knew the answer to that, but I want to make sure before I full blown ask that question, I was like, I don't want to ask these hard questions like right at the
Yeah.
beginning. And, I was like, oh, because I
We
had a feeling y'all had like got back together or whatever. And so I was like, oh man, I'm going to ask the worst question ever. But
when I met him, he was the woman he was with is the woman I went through for my job. Um, thank you, Red Road. And after they broke up, I mean, yeah, we talked, but it's just as friends. And the more we talked, the more we saw we had so much in common. Like everything I was looking for in a man was there, and vice versa. And it just evolved. And
That's awesome.
we
Have
didn't
you seen
say
each other in person?
no because he's still in lockdown over in Australia. He's in the
Yeah.
sixth lockdown, and they won't let him out.
And how long have y'all been dating?
We made it public on Facebook June 2nd, but we've been talking every day and made it known to each other that we had feelings for each other for like a month or so before that.
Yeah. I could
But we
see
got
that
officially
happening because
official
when you get up on
in
these
June.
panels, um, you actually do get to know someone's actual personality.
Yeah,
And like my friends that come up here with me, I, Jan and uh, Bushcraft and Yogi Hollow Farm, and I've talked to Granny Rain on the phone. Just several of you that I've actually had up on the panel. I feel like I really know their personality. I really know them.
yeah,
And some of them I have their phone number. I text them. I talk to them. So I feel like I really, really know them, and like they're my friends, my family. And so hello, Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
hello.
Like an example of this is when I was watching Brandy Pafford on her video talking about her husband being sick.
Yeah.
I just started bawling with her. And it was a video. It was a video she had taped ahead of
Mhm.
time. And I was watching that and I was just bawling.
Oh yeah. You
I was
can't
just
help.
crying because I've met her in person. I've
Mhm.
been in her chat. Um, I've talked to Charlie on the phone before. We had a YouTube situation we had to discuss one time, and you know, it touched me, it hurt me, and I was praying for them, every day. I still am, and so people can call them whatever they want to call them. They can call them communities, and maybe they are communities, but I call them part of your family because
They
literally
just
I
make
talk
your
to the people
family.
on YouTube more than I do my actual real family. I
They
mean,
do.
not my mom, but
Yep.
some of the other members of my family, I don't talk to as much as I talk to these guys on here. So,
Yep. I'm part of a yours, mine, and ours family. My stepdad and I stopped talking in 2004 because we had some differences. I don't talk to my older stepbrother, my stepsister. I have my younger half sister. Her and I don't talk. My other half sister. Her and I don't talk. Um, Only recently did my stepsister send me a friend request on Facebook, which was kind of weird for me. Um, but there's a lot of my family I don't talk to. So being by myself down here with no family around, like my closest family is up in Virginia and West Virginia. That's the closest. And then I have a cousin in Iowa. But everyone else is way up north. I have no one down here. So a lot of people with YouTube, they do turn into family. They really
yeah,
do.
I do. Yeah, when
And it's
something
like,
good or bad happens, I think to call my friends. So
oh
that's who I
yeah,
talk to on the phone. I've had
it's
people sing to me when I'm upset. I've had people call me.
mhm,
I've had people, telling me, venting about their
mhm.
YouTube stuff that's going
Oh
on.
yeah.
So, you know,
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of YouTube channels I want to meet. The one channel I have followed the longest from like the very beginning of their channel is Keeping It Dutch. I have followed him from his fourth video, and I have not missed a
is
video
that a big
since.
is that a big channel?
He is now. He's got between I think it's between 350 and 400,000.
Yeah.
He's blown up, and like when he does well, I can message him on Instagram and he'll answer me back. He's cool to chat with, and it's like there are so many channels that I want to meet in person. The only YouTube channel I've met in person is Big Bear Homestead.
I was probably the most excited about meeting. I was excited to meet Simply Jan Homestead at the meetup. I was excited to meet Kathleen, My Alabama Farm Life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Anne Marie with Big Dreams Homestead, but once I met her, she was awesome. And of course, I got to meet Sherry from Apricot Tiny House. You know, now you feel like you know that after you meet them, you sit down, you're having dinner with them. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, this is
Yep.
cool. And those two I met at the meetup and followed them after the meetup. So, but there was some that I wanted to, even Crazy Ed's Homestead. I wanted to meet him,
Mm-hmm.
and so you know, we've all
Yeah.
been through our little ups and downs here,
Oh yeah.
and I'm here. I'm just a person trying to help other people. You know, I'm a kind person. I really don't bite unless something stings me first.
Exactly.
That's pretty much my personality in a nutshell. I'm a kind person, but if
Mm-hmm.
you bite me, I will eventually bite back. And I know that's not the Christian way, and I try to avoid that. Like I said with my situation the other day, I tried to heap coals of kindness, not
Yeah.
coals of meanness, coals of kindness. It still kept coming back bad, and I was like, you know what? This is just not the kind of person I need to hang out with.
Well,
So
it's
I decided
crazy.
to cut the strings.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's crazy. It's like a lot of times I can go to these channels, videos, and their live streams, and I'll hear their names over and over again, but I can't remember their name. Their channel name I can remember fine. I've had live streams like this year, to where there are channels I haven't seen in 2 years that have come to my channel, but I remember seeing them at my channel.
Yeah.
And you tell me a name, it's gonna take me forever to memorize it because I follow so
I
many
can't
people.
remember. I guess that's my one superpower. I can remember 95% of the names I hear, but I can't remember all of the states. That's a whole other level.
I
But
can remember, if I can't remember the state, I remember an area they're in, like north, west, south. I can remember directions where they're
so
in.
you're better with remembering where they're from, and I'm better remembering what their
Hmm.
first name
I
is.
can
So,
remember their
like
channel
here,
name and where they're
uh,
from pretty much.
Huga
And
Homestead, if you tell me your first name, I'll try to remember it. Last time I had a live, I asked Red Road Homestead what her name was, and she told me Lena, and then I remembered it. So I
I
usually
gotta
will
start
ask
writing
them.
the names down, and I'll
Yeah.
remember it.
I've heard of some people that have cheat sheets. I've heard of that.
You got to, because there are so many channels. I follow gaming channels, sewing channels, crochet channels, painting channels, music,
I know.
homesteading channels, cooking channels.
Yeah,
I found like, oh,
I now have makeup channels. I have
mm-hmm,
a little gamer girl that lives in the UK somewhere, and we exchange playlists. And
mm-hmm,
I'll go to her premieres and watch her videos. She'll come, and someone who was the most unlikely member of your community ever is some girl. I don't even know what she looks like, but she plays Minecraft and
mm-hmm.
Sims. And I go
Oh
to her
yeah,
premieres and I make comments on her premieres and her videos, and I follow her and she follows me. I have no idea what her age is. I don't even know her first name. I just call her Gamer Girl. So
yeah. There's a girl, I can't remember her name. She goes by Gamer Mom. I think it's the Gamer Mom. She's
I know she's
actually,
a teenager from the UK just
no,
from her voice.
this one. She's
Mine
like,
is.
this
Yeah.
one's I think my age. She's a mom. But she is legally deaf and she plays games. She can hear
Good night,
some,
Amy. Thank you for
but she's
stopping in.
legally deaf. And it's like one of the biggest channels I wanna meet is Two Family Homestead.
Mhm.
And because like Sherry's been through so much, and tonight there's their first time live since, and she's up on their panel tonight. That's why I keep looking over, because they're live. I'm
Oh, they're
I'm
live right now.
I'm giving
Oh,
them
okay.
their watch time, even though
Oh,
I'm
that's
here.
nice of you.
And a lot of channels, trust me, a lot of channels will get watch time from me because I can't sleep very well when it's really quiet. I've got to have some type of noise. So I will hit YouTube, I'll hit a video, and because it's on autoplay, I'll turn the volume down to where I can just hear enough. I've got that noise, and it'll play all night. How many videos play? I have no idea. But channels get that watch time from me.
Yeah. That's awesome how channels help each other. And I try to do that. I try to help people. I'll just do random. I'll just wake up today and be like, you know what? I haven't given so and so an 11 a while. And I'll just, and somebody was telling me that the watch time counts for that person if the red line's not going through. But if that red line's still going through it, they're not getting counted for. Is what I heard. I don't, and that happens about every 45 days. Is what somebody said. I don't know if that's true. I'm
as
not
far
the
as I know,
YouTube
it
guru.
counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
If you're on, I guess it has to do with devices and different
As far
channels,
as I
different
know, it counts.
devices. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it does or not. I know a bunch of people helped me when it was time to get mine done.
I'm still working
Now
on mine,
YouTube
and
is
it's
still
going
trying
up.
to recover from that, still thinking that I should, that 50 people should be playing my playlist this month, and that's not happening. And they're like, oh, you're doing terrible, so I'm
One thing
still
I learned with
trying to recover.
YouTube. One thing I learned with YouTube when
Well,
it comes to watch
your
time.
channel is a little bigger than mine. Did your channel
No, you're
recover
bigger
from
than
your
mine.
monetization? Huh?
I've never been monetized
Oh,
ever.
you're not monetized?
No.
How much watch
One
hours
thing
do you have?
under 700. I lost watch hours. When all this drama stuff was going on with me, and this
You
was
deleted
before
stuff.
this. No, never. I don't delete nothing. Um, this was before YouTube changed it to where you gotta have 4,000 watch hours. I was doing a whole bunch of live streams, and I wasn't being consistent with videos. I was just hammering live streams, which I've seen other people do. And when that year later came, I lost that watch time because I wasn't consistent. And I've told friends I don't want to see you do that happen because they hammered out live streams one after the other every day forever, and they weren't doing videos. They weren't being consistent that way. And I've seen people do the whole live stream thing, and all of a sudden when they get their watch hours, they stop. And then the year later, when
Yeah.
YouTube
Once
was
you get
cashing
your
that,
monetization, you can't stop either. Stopping is like a death
no,
sentence for your
but
monetization.
even if they don't have that, they will stop doing live streams. I've seen them do it, and it happened to me. I
Then they'll
got
get
right close to it.
unmonetized.
I got right close to it. You have to keep up that watch time for that year in
Yeah.
order to stay monetized or get monetized. Well, if you don't do it, they take it away. And so I lost a lot of my watch time. I was pretty much back to square one.
How many videos are you putting out a week right now?
I have to get back into doing videos again. I had a little over a week slump because I was doing a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's see. I try to do 3 a week. I need to get back into doing 3 a week and be consistent with it. Thank you, Robert.
The advice they gave me is for your first year, when your first year of trying to get monetized, even if it's a little short video. That's the advice I was given.
I
That's
wouldn't
the
do
advice I
that
took. I
because
did
then
that almost every day.
YouTube's gonna expect you to stay consistent like that. For some people it works, but in my experience and what I've gone through and personally dealing with that,
Yeah.
where they took all that watch time away, yeah, I don't suggest that. Yeah, you can do a couple videos a week, 2, 4 videos a week, okay. Do a live off and on, that helps. But I won't do an everyday thing. I was wanting to do, and I was talking to Darren about this, in October or November. a video every day, but it's going to be a different subject. It's like I'm going to have it planned out, or cooking video this day, talking about my epilepsy this way, talking about this, and I was going to have it planned out. But with my job and everything going on with my kids and myself, I just won't be able to do that.
Yeah, well, there's, one of the things that some of the channels do is they do batch posting where when they have a day off, they will go and post, like, they will go and make 5 or 6 videos.
Oh yeah, I've done
And
that.
then literally they're wearing the same shirt and they'll post different, go into whatever their different subjects are. And I've done that, like, because I have a coupon channel
Oh
too.
yeah, it's
So,
easy. It's
but it's
easy to
harder
do
to
that.
come up with material for the coupon channel because it's supposed to be just about couponing. So I have to actually have something to talk about. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder for me on that one. I
Yep.
can't just do a short of something cute. I need it to be focused on the subject
I
for
don't
it to
do
grow
shorts.
organically. What's that?
I don't do shorts because I feel like they really don't help. For some
They
people,
help with
yes.
numbers, but you don't need
Yeah.
numbers. You need watch
You
hours.
don't get
So
that
you need
time
long
though.
videos is what you need, and lives.
I try to keep my videos 5 minutes and up. Yeah, I have some that are shorter, and that's fine. But it's like the last few videos I did where you're not seeing me at all. All the potato harvesting videos were done in the same day, in the same hour,
Yeah.
and I just
Cooking
edited them and
videos are
put them up.
actually the hardest thing for me. Especially with me being by myself here, it's like trying to get, but sometimes I'll wait and I'll do them on the weekends. But sometimes I do them myself, but they come out better if I have someone to hit go.
Yeah.
And then at the end, hit stop. And if you forget something in the refrigerator, you can say pause, and then you can go back and delete that. But
I edit my videos on my phone. It's all on my phone right now because my editing software, it's I'm having issues with it, so I do everything on my phone. I edit it, I record it, I edit and save it, and then I upload it. And she froze again. 2 minute mayhem. Yeah, that can work too.
uh, Carla with Living a Rogue Life says, I believe in 2 minute mayhem. I don't know where that
Mm-hmm.
comment came from. I missed something. I
It's
gave up on
probably a
watching
video.
analytics and stopped worrying about growing the channel and decided to just do my best and enjoy the community. Well, that's a
Exactly.
good plan there. Yeah.
I don't worry about watch time. I don't worry about subscribers. I'm gonna get it when I get it. I will get monetized whenever it happens. I stopped worrying about that because it stressed me out way too much.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy doing it, sharing things I do.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy it too. Sorry. Oh, goodness. So sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I got up a little bit too early this morning. Sometimes if I wake up early and I can't get myself back to sleep, I'll just get up and start doing stuff.
I'm surprised I'm still awake with only 3 hours sleep in the last like 30 hours.
Yeah. I would be not a good person to be around if I only had 3 hours of sleep. I would be
Oh,
grumpy.
it's gonna be an early night for me. My kids
Yeah.
have school tomorrow, and I wake up between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's an early night. In fact, I'm telling my son he needs to get home.
Yeah. Okay, my last question I always ask everybody is, do you have a question for me?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about doing YouTube?
Um, just being able to communicate with people, making friends, being able to talk to someone, feeling like I have a voice, like someone wants to listen to me or is listening to me, because I was, at my last job, I was being kind of picked on and bullied and, made fun of and all this kind of stuff. So just having some feeling like someone's actually listening to me that cares,
Yeah.
having friends and stuff like that and all that, I guess. And, I'm in a small town. I didn't grow up here. And when you're in a small town and you didn't grow up here, you're not
Yeah.
always really very accepted.
Yeah.
So,
You're gonna be that outsider till they get to know you.
or forever, I don't know
Yeah,
which.
sometimes.
So, yeah, just making friends. Just the people I've met is the funnest part. Just
Oh
sharing
yeah.
things, watching them, watching how my life is going, me watching how their life is going, and really caring if someone's garden is getting flooded out, or
Oh,
someone's
I know.
greenhouse is blowing away, or someone's garden's getting attacked by caterpillars, or someone's husband's in the hospital sick, or someone's got cancer, or just really caring about the things that are actually happening to each other.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
important part.
That's the one thing about all the communities is you find that people care, especially the homesteading community. I've seen where people will share all kinds of information, but I've also seen people be the total opposite and not really give a squat about what the
Yeah,
other person's
they
doing.
get weeded out pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah.
And to me, a sign of a person who's giving to the community is, okay, maybe I don't have money to give, but I can give you a shout out. If
Mhm.
you're out sick or your husband's out sick, I can ask people to run your playlist. Um,
Yep.
I can run your playlist myself. I can feature you on my community page or share one of your videos. There's a lot of things you can do without money to help people. And that's how you know the person is a team player. Like
Mhm.
Cosmic Cultivators, I sing your praises. They are constantly sharing out people's videos, always leaving nice comments, always joining in on collaborations. They are there's lots of awesome community members, but they share more videos than anyone I've seen. They have shared so many of my videos. They've shared my husband's videos. I've seen them share lots of other people's videos. So that's to me, when you get when you anybody can feature channels. You could be a channel of
Oh
only
yeah.
50 subscribers. You can still feature channels there, and that helps them in the algorithm.
Exactly.
So someone who has a community page and does not have feature channels on it, I see that to me as a selfish person.
I love sharing
You do not
videos.
think anyone else is worthy to be praised by you. No one is your friend. No one ever helped you. You're so
Yeah.
burned to the world that you don't want to be nice to anyone. Um, that's my opinion. Very judgy
Yep.
and very on my soapbox, but that's me. I believe
Yeah.
that that's selfish and that we should be giving toward each other. And anyone who asks me to share something on my community page, if they email me, I'll share it. Oh, I'm having bingo night. I'm doing a giveaway. I've
Yep.
even hosted someone's giveaway because they said, your channel's bigger, so you'll have more people. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll do that. So I did that before, just different stuff like that. I always, collaboration. Somebody wants to do a collaboration. I'm always helpful,
Oh yeah. I love doing stuff like that and doing different
mentoring.
things.
Mentoring. I have two channels I'm actually mentoring. Of course, they have their little wings and they're flying away on their own now, but I've actually mentored channels before. So I don't talk
Yeah.
about it because it's personal, but
Sometimes you gotta keep it like that.
yeah,
I have people
definitely.
that message me and ask me things all the time, especially like my epilepsy and stuff like that. And it's kept private.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything someone says to me on the phone or on a text or on an email is personal. I won't share it, and I will certainly ask
Nope.
before I share it.
Oh yeah.
Very much at keeping people's information, their own information. Cosmic Cultivators was in here to hear what I said about them. Yes, that is how I feel about you, Cosmic Cultivators. You're the bomb. So you guys are awesome. So that's That's my shout out, live shout out to Cosmic Cultivators. But there's a lot of awesome people in here too.
Oh, there are.
It's the one that's just the standout for me one right now, this very moment. But I am going to go ahead and end it for the night. Terrie hasn't had much sleep. Obviously, I've already let out a yawn at not even 9 o'clock, so I don't know what's going on with that. But thank you guys all for coming in. Thank you, Terrie, for coming on here.
Oh, thank you for
If
having
there's
me.
anything anybody needs, let me know. Or if you want to come on this interview section for your channel so people can get to know you in the community, just send me an email to gailssouthernliving@yahoo.com. Thank you for coming on.
Well,
It was great getting to know you.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Terrie.
You have a good night, Gail.
You too. Get some sleep.
I'm going to.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in. And that new channel there, I will go check you out right after this and make sure that I am friends with you and watch some of your videos. I got your channel name in my memory. See you guys later. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming in.